What it do? Dame Dash.
Can I? What's happening?
What's good, bro?
Everything's everything. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's welcome Dame Dash, CEO of Dame Dash Studios, to Do It for Hip Hop podcast. Appreciate you taking the time out, bro.
It's all good. I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to what I got to say.
Absolutely. So, I want to start out at the beginning, bro, because when I look at you, out of all the executives in the hip hop game, you was one of the ones that really inspired me to be a boss and take on my own ownership. I had my own company, Bugsy Media Group, LLC, and I appreciate all the game you gave over the years. But what I want to know from you, what came about in your life that gave you that boss mentality from the beginning?
I mean, to be honest, I used to hustle when I was like 15. So,
okay.
Once you start making your own money and making more money than adults, reason to go back. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Once you go first class, you ain't trying to get the coach.
That's just crazy, bro. I dig it. So you was basically, because I seen something that said you made more money than your principal. So when you had that feeling like I'm making more money than my principal, I know I'm a boss, so I'm gonna take things to the next level.
Yeah, I just knew I didn't want to get money the regular way.
Okay.
And the regular way wasn't the kind of money I wanted to make. And what I was being taught in school wasn't teaching me how to get money, it was teaching me how to survive. And I wasn't into survival mode. I don't like it too much.
Okay.
I like relax mode. So,
right.
I had to go a different path.
Mm-hmm.
And the path I initially went was dangerous and it wasn't sustainable.
Okay.
And I figured that out fairly early. And then I figured out the music business, and then it was like, shit, I feel like I'm still hustling. So then I had to get out of that business. And again, to get to where I got to go is kind of just keep finding different paths,
Right. Now, I do want to talk about Kanye West. Kanye West is probably one of the most successful artists that you put in the game. And I want to know from you, what did you see in Kanye early that other people might see? Because Kanye West was a producer. He wore a backpack. People was, clowning him. But it was something you seen in him that you thought that he can take levels that nobody could take. What was that you seen?
He just was fearless. But I just gave him the same opportunity that I gave every single person at Rockefeller. Every producer at Rockefeller that made a gold record had the opportunity to have an album with us, but at the form of maybe a compilation, it would secure that it would go gold.
Right.
But he was brave enough to jump and start rapping amongst some real vicious rappers.
Right.
And he was also a person that just took my direction. He would listen. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, he had the most humble respect for me. So when you're around a bunch of sharks and a bunch of bears and gorillas and shit like that, it's sometimes hard for people to take advice, constructive criticism. But Kanye would always digest that. I think when we knew he had something special when it came to the heart is when he broke his jaw up, and I sent him a drum machine, and he came back with Through the Wire and the video and all that. That's when I knew I had someone that hustles like I hustle. It's just a hustle energy, but he just takes it to another level. He says he's the dragon version of me, and he is right now.
Listen, so you sent them a beat machine? I never knew that. That's how Through the Wire came about?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That shit is wild, man.
Ow. Oh, shit. Fucking ass just got on my fucking sock.
You good?
Ass got on my sock. That shit just burnt this shit
good.
up.
All right, so listen, man. Let me ask you this, because the black community has been frowning upon Kanye West lately, and they don't like how he's been moving out here. From your perspective, do you feel like Kanye West has changed ever since the death of his mother, or you feel like that's just Kanye West?
I don't really get into all that about Kanye because I can't tell you what that man's thinking. But I could say this: the last headline I saw was he's the richest black man of all time, and I see him drop the bag, when people don't. You know what I mean? So it's like he shows up. Like, you can't tell somebody how to show up. He shows up in his own way, but he does show up. And He's the richest black man in the world.
Facts. Yeah, I seen that. I seen something about that today on CNN.
Yeah, so if you're reading about him on CNN, I wouldn't be trying to hear all that, you know.
Right.
It's usually the people that talk the most that are doing the least, you know. So whoever's judging Kanye, look in the mirror and say, what the fuck are you doing for the culture that you have the nerve to say what another man is doing? Deal with you.
Right.
You know, like for me, I don't think about what another man's doing for other people. I think about what I'm doing for other people, no matter how famous they are. So what somebody else does not affect me. You know what I mean?
Right.
What they're thinking is like,
That's
yo,
fair.
if you want to help something, if you want to see something get help, you do to help it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell somebody how to play a game that you're a spectator in.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. In 2017, you released a book called Culture Vulture with Kenyatta Griggs. And it was breaking down how they exploit our culture, but they try to run our culture, but they're not our skin color. Can you expound upon will we get a part 2? And will other people make that list? Because a lot of people feel like
hell yeah. I'm waiting for Kenyatta now. I got a whole list of motherfuckers that's gonna be on the next Culture Vulture Part 2. You know, I'm gonna deal with lawyers. I'm gonna deal with, you know, people that have unjustly tried, you know, all this shit the last 3 years that I've been fucking dealing with. We're gonna go through all that. You know,
so
really
you have the
name,
but you're not gonna release the names because some people feel like Eminem, Drake are culture vultures. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think about that because I don't know them like that. I'm just talking about the people that I have personal experiences with. So if you culture vulture me, again, I can't tell you what you should be doing for the culture and blah, all that type stuff. All I know is if you fucking with me, I'm going to just tell and talk about my personal experience honestly and authentically, and you can judge it from there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But my purpose of exposing these people is so they can't hurt nobody else.
Why you think that you, and I don't know nobody else, honestly, have been so adamant about keeping our culture for us as opposed to other people? They don't speak upon it like you do. They call you the Billy Pablo. You know what I mean? Like that's your alter ego. I want to know why you think you are the one to speak about it. You remind me of Louis Farrakhan, a guy that speaks about the real and don't hold nothing back. Where does that come from? And you did it on the Hard Knock Life movie too, and that was one of my favorite scenes ever in hip hop.
Thank you. I just never wanted to fit in, and I think most people just want to, you know, if they're allowed in someone else's house and they got a nice room, a luxurious one, and they can pretend it's their house, they'll do it.
Right.
And they know that if they say something that, you know, disrespects the rules of the house, they're going to get kicked out of the house. I don't want to be in that house. I don't want a room in that house, you know? So it just doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm just not thinking about fitting in. And anyone that's trying to fit in, I don't want to be around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I kind of create my own bubble of like-minded people. And I learned that about, you know, 15 years ago. What are we at, 22? About 2002, 2003. Okay. It was like, again, for me, I understand that happiness is how I feel inside. Okay. And if people are triggering me all day, all fucking day, every day, it doesn't matter how much money I have. I'm going to be tight. And I hate being tight. I hate feeling disrespected. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a little disrespect feels like a lot of disrespect. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it just your ego can't take it. So I remove myself from people that trigger me. If a whole industry triggers me, I'm getting the fuck out that industry. So, you know, at a certain point, the whole entire industry was triggering me, was just making me sick. Every fucking conversation, everything was bothering me. And I had to make a change. And since I made that change, it was crazy because, you know, people just really looked at it as, like, for me, it was like I'm walking away from selling nickels on the block to go sell weight. And everybody was like, it looked like, yo, because I don't have that block, that I'm fucked up. And I'd be like, I'm not trying to sell nickels. I'm trying to sell weight. Right. And I don't want to be around that level of clientele all day, personally on the concrete. I did that shit already. Right. So sometimes when I see people that stay in the same industry for decades doing the same thing.
Right.
To where you can see the, you know, the appearance change, but you're doing the same thing. I just feel like that's hell, or that would be my hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, my W is different than other people's W's. And I don't care what you think my W should be. I only care what makes me happy.
Facts.
And that's the reason why I can say what I want, when I want, how I want, about whoever I want. And it's not to be like trolling, because I don't troll. Right. It's just I speak on my personal experiences freely so my culture can learn from it. But the thing I want them to learn from it is don't be scared of them.
Right.
If you better, what are you scared of?
Right.
That's the thing that bothers me, is like all these strong people have the weak people in their brain thinking that they're more powerful than them. And I'm like, yo, if we stick together, they can't eat. Because they're eating off us. Right. They always figure out how to divide and conquer with the short-term paper, make a motherfucker jump out the window for short bread at a low floor. Right. You know? Yeah. And it's just human nature and programming. And that's why my television network is about deprogramming. You know? Different patterns, different narrative. You know? Like, it's so much better to understand what wealth is. Wealth is being healthy, and wealth is being free, and wealth is being happy, and wealth is laughing, and wealth is loving. Right. Money is not, that's not in that first.
That's not in that. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people think money first and sacrifice all of that for it. And that's an elbow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. So what was a pivotal moment? Because when I look at you, you playing out your plan. So if you decide to leave an industry, you already forecasting in your mind, because that's the way you think. What was a pivotal moment in the music industry when you was already planning your exit plan?
When I moved my office to Rockwell, Rockefeller, I was gone. I went to Rockwell. So, because I was making more money. And I didn't want to be in that building no more. I hated going to Def Jam. You know what I mean? So that meant, and then once I got there, I was like, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I just wanted to be alone, or at least I wanted a total reset, a whole different mentality, a whole different narrative. And I had no fear of starting from scratch. And I understood how long it would take, but I also knew how much I enjoyed fighting for my dreams. But, you know, fighting for your dreams when you've already made a dream come true makes things a lot more luxury. So the first time I had to fight for my dream, we had to hustle to stay above water. Right. It was a different kind of luxury. But right now, I'm like, I mean, how can I not go kamikaze? You know, I can live off what I made for the rest of my life, but I'd be miserable. And I can live like this. But I want more, you know. I dream bigger. See, the thing about dreams is that they don't have a price tag. It doesn't cost $1 to dream. So I make a point to fucking dream huge, you know, and then understand what it's going to take to get to that dream. And if it's going to take 10 years, then so be it. But I don't care how long it takes. I believe in my dreams.
Right. Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this, because you always talk about keeping women around you, investing in queens, like your woman, your wife. You know, I want to talk about, like, when did that start for you? Was that early on? Because I feel like that came later. Your narrative of making sure you keep women because men. Say it again.
At Rockefeller, like, you know, there was too many dudes. So I transitioned out. You know, and if you're going to get violated, I'd rather get violated by a girl, not no dude. You know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't enjoy being around another dude too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Now, I get it. Now, a lot of people believe that people powerful like yourself should be on the forefront for the Black Lives Matter, and kind of like being a voice for that. What is your thoughts on that? Because a lot of celebrities don't have what it takes to be activists or be voices or articulate themselves to be that. But what's your focal point when it pertains to the Black Lives Matter and being marginalized as a black man in America?
I mean, I think Black Lives Matter is a lifestyle for me for years.
Okay.
So, you know, like, I'm not a guy that just shows up, and no disrespect to people that do. People fight their own way. But I don't just show up when everybody shows up. I usually show up when nobody shows up. I'm usually fighting when no one's triggered. So sometimes we wait to get hit to hit back. I don't be waiting for that. I just be swinging because I know they're going to swing at some point. It's just time to stop this cycle. So my whole career has been, to me, Black Lives Matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything I do, I'm the only one that calls names out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the only one that walks away from a bag. A lot of people don't have that bag to walk away from. I've walked away from opportunities. All money ain't good money to me. If it means selling any part of my culture out, I don't want it. If my integrity ain't there, I'm out. Pardon?
Right. No matter how big the bag is, you don't want it.
Yeah, bag's not big enough for me to sell a piece of my soul. You know what I mean? Or my culture, so I can't live with myself. And I'm not struggling. So it's like, what I need, I'll be all right until I get what I really want. But right now, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's better than most. Yeah. So I'm going to keep fighting for my dreams. If I can fight for my dreams under this circumstance, this way, and do it every day, all day, you know, it's not an interview that I have that, you know, I don't just talk about what I'm selling. I'm talking about how everyone can help themselves be better.
Right.
I take the time to stop talking about my products to talk about how everyone can improve, at least based on how I've improved myself.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about evolution. I just want to make the culture better. We got, you know, I think we're moving rapidly, just compared to the way historically, you know, people have been controlled. It takes thousands of years to break a certain cycle. It's taking us a couple of hundred, but we're aware. This generation is there. You're not having it. And you have the tools where you don't have to be controlled. Because if you got a product, you can sell it directly to your consumer. Is all right? My son.
Oh, your son. Oh, also too, Dame, it's been, I feel like in the last couple years, we lost a lot of rappers to violence. And a lot of it goes back to drill music and them pushing that on us. Do you feel like that's by design? And I think you talked about this before. They want us to be, they want to push that on us so we can be wiped out. Because you look at all the people that's dying from Nipsey to King Von. I mean, the list goes on to Pop Smoke. What is your thoughts on that? They're pushing that culture on us.
You know, I think that
and how can we change that?
I think YouTube has to have some kind of consciousness because people know that they can get attention by doing negative things and that YouTube will distribute that. And YouTube will actually pay you to fight somebody in your culture verbally, which can always turn into something else. So I just think that has to have some accountability. The same way, you know, they regulated Donald Trump. If somebody's doing that same kind of thing, just causing havoc and negativity, they should not get paid for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And today, our younger generation feels that if they don't kill, they'll be killed. And that's fucked up. That they think that that's how they have to survive from the day they're born. They have to be taught to be tough. Right. So, you know, it's not even a judgment on the younger kids because that's all they know. It's survival mode. I'm watching kids in survival mode, you know, but the program is definitely for us to fight each other and then get paid off of that so that we continue to do it. And, you know, again, I just think social media and, you know, all these outlets of distribution, if, you know, it's almost like terroristic to me. You know what I mean? So if somebody says something, knowing that it's about violence, it should be up there.
Right.
It just should.
It should be
able to use violence and negativity to make money. And that's what's happening. You know, algorithms, if you're a person that is having a terrible life and you like looking at negativity, then they're going to put as much negative shit up as possible to keep you there, period.
Right.
And that's what's going on. The negativity algorithm needs to be shut down, period.
Yeah, because it's used on all these social media platforms. And that's another thing I've seen a lot too, where Black content creators' algorithms change but white content creators, they go up. So I know it's something to that. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's what I wanted to ask you too, Dane. What advice would you give even someone like me or just artists today, the way everything is direct consumer model? What advice would you give? Because basically you don't need nobody. There is no middleman.
Yeah. I mean, get good at one good thing.
Right.
And make sure that there's at least 8 different ways that you can monetize it. You know?
Yeah.
And every way doesn't have to work all the time.
Right.
but one or two of them shits is gonna always keep the keep it moving. You know, keep everything going forward. And you can cut off one, and it'll grow back. You'll get another business. So it's just about focus, understand how to distribute your content, do it yourself. It's just really taking the time. Like the shit that you see about, you know, you be like, oh, this, I'll pay somebody to do it. Pay them to do it, but study them for a little while. You know what I mean? See what they're doing. It's not as hard as you think. I think the unknown seems so much more difficult to people. But once you know it, the shit is easy. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just, you know, so many ways to make money. Cause I'm not a person that is so intrigued by making money. If I was, I'd have so much more because I'd be focusing on how to do it. But, you know, that's because I'm comfortable. But, you know, if you're uncomfortable, it would behoove you to figure out every single way that you can make money and not have to have somebody else have their hand in your cookie jar, you know, to do things yourself that most people would pay others to do. So that's why with damedash Studios, you know, I don't really outsource. I own all the equipment. I make all of the content because I don't want a middleman or pay someone else to do a job I could do myself quicker and better. You know?
Facts. Another thing too, Dane, us, even myself, complains about the Grammys and how we complain about the Grammys and how the Grammys give awards to our black people, and you know, and we miss the Source Awards. So what do you think of that? Because it's like ever since the Source Award, I feel like the authenticity of award shows is not there, and it's being controlled by that academy.
I mean, you know, we keep recognizing them that we feel we need them to validate us. We can't really complain about other people's stuff. We just have to make our own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't expect another culture that's really comfortable with them being number one or perception-wise and us being number two. I don't expect them to make us number one. It's almost like they do it on purpose every year, you know? But the Grammys, you know, as you look at it, it used to be a bigger deal. It's a photo op. Nobody really cares. You know what I'm saying? It's like the younger kids and shit. It's an old institution. And, you know, a lot of older thinkers may believe that they need to be validated by the Grammys, but I didn't show up the time we won the Grammys either. And that was years ago. You know what I mean? I just had shit to do. And I hated going to the Grammys. I might go to the Grammys with an artist because it was their first time nominated. But overall, this shit is boring. I was out. You know what I mean?
Dang, well, now Philly want to know, Dang, about State Property 3. Will we ever get a State Property 3, bro? Because Philly really want that.
Yeah, maybe. Might happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. You know, I always think about it. I just have to be, you know, I got a lot of, when I'm at a position where I don't have to do every single thing myself, and I'm almost there.
Okay.
Then I can do like 3 or 4 movies at a time. But, you know, I have to like look at what's the most cost-effective, convenient for my lifestyle kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like right now, lately, the only content I've been making, I've only been working with Principles, OSG Network, which is 90 Black Principles. And, you know, I've been making kids curriculum and children's books. I am prepping a movie for May.
Okay.
You know? And again, me prepping in March for a movie I'm shooting in May. is telling you I'm not fucking around at all. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And that things are not going to be freestyled. And now that I
Right.
got the system set up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because again, my app has original programming. The innovation is the fact that while you're watching, you can buy things. You know, so if you're watching me and Kenyatta talking, you can
Mm-hmm.
press a button and buy the Culture Vulture book, period. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And then I'm going linear. So I'm doing regular television, 24-hour TVs in about 2-3 weeks. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
launching in a lot of markets. So, you know,
Yeah.
this thing is going to have a lot of different legs, a lot
Right.
of different things. I guess my point is,
Mm-hmm.
I've only really been doing what I could do around my son. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm really into my son, into
Right.
my baby. So
Yeah.
right now, I wouldn't be able to bring a little baby into a jail and start shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe in a couple of years and shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just really enjoying baby vibes. And what happens,
I know that's right.
word,
Word.
and what happens when I do a movie, you
Mm-hmm.
know, as a director and an actor and just producing, if I'm doing a movie about some gangster shit for
Yeah.
that week, I'm
Right.
like extra. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
Yeah.
my girl will be like, okay, you're doing gangster shit. Like you know what I'm saying? I got to get extra gangster with it.
Right.
And I don't want to be that way right now.
Yeah.
My little boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm extra
Absolutely.
Google Gaga right now. I'm sweet. Pause. Not sweet like that, but like, you know, I'm a guy. Pause.
You on your
Super
fatherhood vibes, bro. It's I love it, man. It's nothing wrong with that. The evolution of Dame Dash is beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
I've been looking for this, you know.
Yeah.
It's my style. Every
Right.
single style I've had to fight to see.
Right.
I've never been on the same sheet of paper with the other half.
Right.
So this time it's like I wake up, go to
Mm-hmm.
bed, everything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
But that's what I've been fighting for that.
Yeah.
And I know it's worth the fight. If it took me 5 times to get it right, you know, it is what it is. But I'm definitely gonna make up for it with my other children.
Yeah.
You know, like I've always been in their life, but I just
Right.
wasn't wake up and go to bed with him. And also, you know, they had to deal with a broken home.
Right.
So I'm breaking that cycle with this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know,
I had to
I
go
want to
through
make
that
sure
too, Dane.
my
So
prior children know how to be parents. You know, and have relationships.
right. I had to go through that too, Dane, with my daughter's situation, and now I got a son that's 10, and I've been in his life like how you in your son's life. So I know all about being, turned away and dealing with a bitter woman and all that. So I know all about that.
Like having a baby and not being able to see him or her for a month,
Right.
and losing all that time, that's like torture. I can't even imagine that with this one right here. You know,
Absolutely.
and I remember how much it hurt me for each and every one of them. That it was intended to hurt me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it hurt them, and it doesn't make sense to deal with things that way.
Yeah, facts. Now, Dan, I want to ask you, man, because I remember 20 plus years ago when Aaliyah died, and it actually I shed a few tears, bro. I'm not even going front. But what is one of your fondest moments of Aaliyah? And did y'all have talks about doing business together and possibly she being under you, signed to you? Was that ever a conversation? And what do you think she would be doing right now? I feel like she would be the biggest artist in the world.
Our talks were how to have her do her own shit.
Okay.
And I would always be there to make sure she did it right.
Okay.
I didn't really we would, like, for example, she really liked Freeway a lot. So the reason why I was actually in Miami was because she was supposed to jump on a record with Freeway. She came in the studio and all that. So she was always like a real team player. And if she was inspired, it was always, it wasn't about politics for her. So basically we would have just organically been creating, and our talks were more about what she was going to do in the future, because she had a lot going on.
Right.
It wasn't like she was trying to do anything. She was doing it. She was about to be in Matrix. She was shooting movies,
Damn, she was about to be in the Matrix?
Yeah. She had flew to while she was shooting that other movie, she flew, and she was supposed to be in the Matrix, that next Matrix. I forgot who took her spot. I think Marvin Gaye's daughter, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah, she was about to be in the
Marvin
Matrix.
Gaye's daughter. Yep.
She like the right people in the right places were already aware of her in fashion, in movies, and music.
Right.
And it was just, she had really big things going on, and she was the coolest girl, for real, for real. You know?
Right.
She really was. That's why I know I'm the coolest, because she told me. That's when I like, oh, I know I'm the coolest. I was with Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Right.
You know
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was really just more about love. It was the times that we were alone were the best. You know what I mean? And that's all we wanted to do was be alone. It was like, it wasn't a thing where we enjoyed being in front of people, and we never showcased our relationship in public. Most people didn't really know until, you know, she wasn't here anymore. Because we respected more than anything our fun. So we would go places where there was nobody, and those would be our best times. You know what I mean? Where we just, you know, we could just. I mean, I remember when I was shooting Paid in Full, and she flew in to LA for the Matrix thing from Australia for one day.
For one day. Just to be with you.
Well, no, she went to I'm gonna tell you, she was coming in to LA for one day to go see the Matrix. You know, because she was shooting a movie, but to go see the Matrix people, the same producers that produced that movie, Joe Silverman. And I was shooting that part and Paid in Full. That y'all, we get more money than you and da da da.
Right.
Report to the bridge for blow up.
Yeah.
And after that, I got on a flight, and we flew in. I flew in to see her just for that one night and flew right back the next day to shoot Paid in Full. Because, you know, I really didn't have the time to fly 25 hours to Australia. So I was like, fuck it. I just go there and back. That's way better. Yeah. And, you know, that's how it was. Or like, I remember we were someplace and someone offered us a private jet, you know, to get on a private jet with them to go someplace. And we chose to get on a regular plane, because that's what we could just, you know, we didn't really want to talk to nobody. You know what I mean? It was like we were able to, we just did anything to be alone. You know what I mean? To just kick it. We just enjoyed company. Like again, with Aaliyah, what she taught me, because I was in love, and I never knew what being in love would feel like till her. And I thought that I would never feel that again.
Right.
But once I got with Raquel and felt that same feeling, I was able to recognize that, to how to treat Raquel and move forward in our relationship. And I know Aaliyah guided me in that direction.
Right.
Because I know she wouldn't want me to be alone all these years without her.
Right. Right. That's deep, man. Because you know what it makes me think about. Sometimes one relationship gets you ready for the other relationship, and I feel like when I listen to you talk, that's what happened with Aaliyah. She got you ready for your future, even though she died the way she died. She still got you ready for your future. So her presence is still felt in the way you think about a woman.
Right. And even to the thing, like, I'm not trying to fall ever in love with like a singer or an actress, because they be gone all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with Raquel, she's a professional. That do
right.
We doing everything together.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna benefit and be in her company because of her art but me. Right. At least no men. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being a celebrity, you got to deal with a lot of shit. And you got to be with a celebrity to understand that. That's why celebrities be with celebrities, because they're used to being on the road all the time. You know what I mean? But when you have a girl and you love her, you want to be with your girl all the time when you're really in love.
That's true.
Like, I'm really in love. Like, I don't be wanting, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Real. So, like, I don't see how a nigga be in love or with a woman and she's gone 4 months out the year, and you just, because I'm sick when I'm not with my girl. You know what I mean? So, I'm, you know, if I'm in a hotel, that's why I don't even stay there. You got to come with me. I'm like, I don't even feel none of that shit. But that was her right there.
Yeah,
I didn't even know she was there. I didn't even know she was where she came from. She got a massage, see?
Man,
You
see,
know,
man, that's what it's all about, man. You know, love is that's what this world need, Dane. This world need love, bro.
that's why I'm showing it. You know, and I'm very transparent about it. Because if you go your whole life, if I'd have went my whole life and I wasn't able to have a baby with a woman that I am with, I would have missed everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But like, you know, I've been with her for like a decade and shit. And I'm like, damn, there's people that got to get up in the, like during the pandemic, it wasn't nothing because it was just us like we always be.
Yeah.
So, like, damn, now we really can hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She really.
Exactly.
So that's what it became.
Right.
You know? Right. And I just remember, like, I remember when I knew I was in love with Aaliyah was because she was going on to that movie. And I didn't even know, and you know, like, it was going to hit me like that. And it was 4 months. And, you know, we were saying bye and shit. She started crying and she left. And I started crying. I was like, I'm crying. I can't believe this. So I don't want to be in that position where I'm down low crying and shit because I miss my girl. And niggas don't act like y'all don't be crying when y'all miss your girl. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is babies, like, Dane, you know what I mean? Like,
tell them, Dane, stop living a facade, nigga. Stop living a facade. It's all right to shed a couple tears.
That shit ain't tough.
Niggas always want to be
tough. If you don't have the ability to love, you ain't tough.
Right.
The toughest niggas is the most sensitive ones on the low. You know what I mean? That's why they be overreacting.
Tell them, Dane, you dropping gems on them tonight, bro. Listen, man, what I want to do, I want to go to Harlem real quick, bro, because you from Harlem, and I got to talk about Jim Jones. The evolution in Jim Jones is remarkable. I think Jim Jones, the last few years, have been dropping some of the best music out of New York. Like, when you see how Harlem is winning, you see Dipset and Cameron and Jules, what does that make you feel like, Dane? What does that make you feel like when you see that?
I'm always happy when people I know are doing well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Right.
You know? You know, again, you know, I don't like wasting time. So if everybody's doing well, I always look at that as a reflection of me.
Right. Facts.
You know?
Facts. One thing, David, I never understood, like, because, well, all right, well, this is what Mace said in the song. He said that I don't really fuck with Dame, but I cop Jigga. So one thing I didn't ever understand is, even though Mace was from, this is what Mace said on a song on Harlem World. He said,
I remember that.
How did that make you feel? Did y'all have some inner things going on? Because when you bring up Harlem, I never hear you bring up Big L or Mace. It's always Dipset.
Oh, no, I always bring up Big L and Mace. I mean, I don't have so much to talk about with Mace. But yeah, we good. But, you know, in those moments, we had, you know, niggas went through their things here and there. But I never really sweat that shit. I never took that none of that shit so serious.
Yeah.
Like, I think people take things a little too serious. So, like, you know, he ain't say nothing crazy. He can say what he want to say. I ain't give a fuck. I just be happy niggas say my name in a song. So, like, I remember when Nas said my name in Ether, I was hyped.
You was?
Hell yeah, I was in Ether, nigga. I was in Ether. Wouldn't you be hyped if a nigga said your name in Ether?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You.
Yeah, me. I would be
so hyped. Like, you know,
because Ether is one of the best
hearing that shit, they like, yo, you was in the mix like that. Huh? Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the one that put a hole in on me, the first one.
Right.
So I was on that record that hurt that much. I didn't take it serious. I ain't like losing.
Right.
But I definitely love, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you have a reason we was in, it was appropriate. But like, if you coming at me up for out of left field, I'd be like,
where this come from?
For?
Right.
But you know, I'm 50 right now. Like, what the fuck? I really would look stupid being worried about what somebody say on the record.
Right. Absolutely. Thanks. Well, Dame, I really appreciate your time, man. Before we go, I want you to tell me your top 3 Harlem rappers of all time.
The top 3 what?
Harlem top rappers of all time. Harlem. Rappers from Harlem.
Well, Big L.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that.
Let me see. I mean, you forget, he was coming with Rockefeller. Me and Big L was, you know, I managed
Big L a
Oh
little bit.
yeah, because
You know, we were all
he
friends,
battled
man.
Jay, right? Didn't he battle Jay? Didn't Big L battle Jay and won?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Did
thought.
Big L win?
Yeah.
It was like a tie.
Okay.
I give it a tie.
Okay.
You know, he got it. You know, Jay actually was in Harlem and went to 139th Street and battled Big L on his own block. So even for it to be close, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, but that was just the respect that Big L
Yeah.
and 139th and where I was from, 142nd, or at least, you know, that was the block I would be on. We were friends to where we didn't have to feel unsafe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was always a respect, a super duper respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I gotta say, like, Dougie Fresh, I wouldn't say rapper, but entertainer, right. You know. And Akil was dead nice too from that was his name, right? From New Jack City. It's the New Jack.
Yeah.
He was kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember everybody that was specifically from Harlem, because some people wasn't from Harlem, but you thought they was from Harlem. You know what I mean?
Really?
So
yeah. Well, I know
like,
Cameron,
I don't remember.
Jim Jones, and all them from Harlem, but yeah.
Cam. Yeah, like, you know, those guys. You know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, Kumo D. Kumo D's from Harlem too.
Like, that's what I mean. I'm not even doing. Yeah. I can't say that top three. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know what records that I dance to the most. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, there's different categories when you talk about rapping, like his lyrics and his songs and his careers. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
To say, you know, I have to be in a certain mood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I listen to a lot of rock and roll. I'm in a rock group. You know what I'm saying? Called the Black Gun.
I seen you posting a video about that. Yeah. So you basically changed
I'm in a group, like certified. I be fucking performing and all that. Huh?
You got the guitar and all that because you was doing the. Huh?
Yeah, but the guitar player is Tash. He's the best guitar player in the world. But I could pick a guitar up and, like, you know, strum the shit or catch a lick and just play it over and over again. Like, I could do better than someone that, you know, doesn't really know an instrument. You know what I mean? But you know, the album's called Therapy.
Okay.
By the Black Guns. You can get it on Spotify, wherever, Apple.
Okay. Black Guns.
Before the end of the world, we was doing shows. We just did the Peppermint Lounge a week before the shit closed down.
Right.
You know, the Canary Club in Lower East Side. And Do It All got a spot in Newark. Do It All, Tretch performed with me and shit. I was talking to Tretch today on the text because I was watching the show yesterday, because somebody was like, "You in a group?" And I was like, "I'll show you. I ain't even gonna tell you."
Right.
You know, because I'm the lead singer. I'm singing.
You singing?
All right. Yeah.
Yo, man. Damedash, man. You is just a jack of all trades, bro. It's crazy, bro.
Go check it out. And you be like, "Damn, I gotta hear that. I'm gonna be laughing." Nobody laughs.
Right. Now, before we go, how can you? Yeah, exactly. How can you submit content to Damedash Studios for people that? Because a lot of people ask me, like, how can you submit content? Is it someone you know that get on?
Yeah, you kind of got to know, because I'm not looking so hard right now. So you know me, and you know somebody that know me, you know, they usually get to me. But to be honest, it's really, you got to know me and shit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I got to register. Somebody got to, because I'm not really licensing. I'm making it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if somebody got some content, I'll put it up there if it's good, or, you know,
right.
If, you know, you could get, like, my block is clicking, so I don't mind, you know. Look, there's my little man right there chilling. Look, see this?
Check him out. Check him out.
He got his own clothing line, got the DVDs, got his little socks, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
that's dope, Dame. Well, Dame, I'm gonna submit my content. I don't know if you want to see it or not, but this was a dope interview, and I appreciate. Okay. Most definitely.
It's all good.
I appreciate your time, Dame, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for everything.
All right, bro.